41 million people are inside Saturday's severe weather risk zone from Montana to North Carolina. 75 miles per hour wind gusts are forecast to tear across the northern plains behind Saturday's powerful storm line. The Euro model is pushing 108 degrees in Washington, D.C. by next Friday. The heat is coming. A ring of fire pattern is locking in and will not let go through the 4th of July. If you live from the northern plains to the mid-Atlantic, Saturday demands your full attention. Starting with today, multiple regions are in the crosshairs for severe weather this afternoon and evening. A Level 2 risk covers Springfield, Missouri through Louisville. A tornado threat is elevated today. The tornado corridor runs from Springfield, Missouri through Lexington. Prime window this afternoon. A Level 1 marginal risk stretches from Washington, D.C. through Oklahoma City and near Denver today. Damaging wind gusts and isolated large hail are the main threats across all zones today. 2 separate tornado zones exist, one near Billings, Montana, and one near Springfield through Lexington. No joke, Evansville and Louisville sit in the crosshairs of today's highest tornado potential. Frank is a retired teacher in Springfield, Illinois. He is watching storm cells tracking through the Midwest. Frank, your area has been getting hammered for 2 weeks straight, and tonight is no different. Severe storms will develop off the Front Range into the western and southern plains this afternoon. Clusters of storms near Joplin and Tulsa tonight between 7 and 9 p.m. need serious attention. Supercells developing off Colorado's Front Range will push eastward into the western plains tonight. Morning storms may stabilize things, but if they fire weakly, the door opens for stronger tornadoes. Monsoon season is picking up across the southwest. Widespread showers from Colorado through Arizona today. A 75 miles per hour wind event Saturday is brewing, which means today's severe weather is just the warm-up. That 108-degree forecast for Washington, D.C. shows how extreme this entire pattern is becoming. Comment your city below, especially if you are in the Springfield to Louisville tornado zone today. Have multiple ways to receive alerts phone. NOAA Weather Radio and television keep all active. The ring of fire pattern is not a single event. Storms reset and fire again every single day. Now let's talk about Saturday. The severe weather threat is giant and it connects multiple zones. A Level 2 slight risk covers eastern Montana into northwest South Dakota and central North Dakota. That Level 2 covers 4.2 million people across 115,000 square miles of wide open northern plains territory. A second Level 2 sits over southeast Virginia into northeast North Carolina, a separate serious zone. The Level 1 marginal risk on Saturday covers those 41 million people we mentioned in the opening. Heads up, 41 million under marginal risk plus 4.2 million under slight equals a massive storm footprint. Effective wind shear of 40 to 50 knots Saturday promotes supercells capable of very large hail. The surface low near the Black Hills would deepen Saturday and drive eastward, that is the storm engine. Dale is a retired electrician in Toledo. Ohio Saturday's setup already has his full attention. Dale, watch the northern plains Saturday evening because those 75 miles per hour wind gusts are in the forecast. Supercells fire first Saturday afternoon, then transition into a damaging wind line 75 miles per hour or stronger. Saskatchewan and Manitoba could see the storm line crossing into Canada by Saturday evening. Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Richmond, and Newport News are all inside Saturday's coastal Level 2. The coastal zone meets rich moisture south of a weak cold front. Damaging winds are the primary threat. Mark my words, Saturday's northern plains setup has the potential to produce the week's most intense storms. A conditional supercell or two near southern Missouri on Saturday afternoon cannot be ruled out either. The Ozarks into the Tennessee Valley face a morning storm thread warm advection driving early convection. That 41 million in Saturday's risk zone is spread from the Gulf Coast to the Canadian border. Now let's look at Sunday. The ring of fire keeps cycling new storm threats into the Midwest. Sunday's severe weather covers Wisconsin, the upper Midwest, and back into the Dakotas once again. Sunday's main threats are damaging wind gusts and very large hail, a couple tornadoes possible. The low pressure may track into Canada on Sunday, pushing the main severe action further northward. That 108-degree heat forecast for D.C. is being driven by the same ridge creating all these storms, farther south into Nebraska. Storm development Saturday is conditional, but the environment supports all hazards. Damaging winds and hail may occur in Tennessee and Kentucky as a storm complex tracks eastward Saturday. Earl is a retired rancher in western South Dakota. He has watched this storm energy build all week. Earl, your area is directly in the path of Saturday's Level 2 and Sunday's follow-up severe threat. Monday has the best setup for a major, widespread severe weather event from Nebraska to northern Minnesota. All hazards are on the table. Monday, damaging winds, very large hail, and tornadoes across a huge area. Buckle up, Tuesday may continue the severe threat across the Midwest, depending on low pressure track. Wednesday and Thursday look active across the northern plains as the ring of fire fully develops. The European model promotes a big line of storms across the northern plains right around July 4th. July 4th could be stormy across a large portion of the country. Still too early to lock in. That 41 million Saturday footprint is just the beginning. The ring of fire repeats daily through next week. The same 75 miles per hour wind threat Saturday will regenerate in different locations almost every single day. Your weather alerts should stay on permanently. This is not a one-day event. It is a 7-day campaign. NOAA Weather Radio is your most reliable backup when cell towers overload during severe weather. Now let's talk about the heat. The numbers coming from the models are genuinely alarming this morning. Monday, June 29th. The Euro model pushes 100 degrees in Minneapolis, and that is just the beginning. By mid-next week, triple digits show up in Dallas. Not unheard of, but dangerously hot nonetheless. Milwaukee pushes near 100 degrees by Wednesday. For a northern city, that kind of heat is extreme. Charlotte hits 97 degrees by Thursday, July 2nd, and that is before the hottest part of the day. Next Friday, the Euro model pushes 108 degrees in Washington, D.C. Extraordinary if it holds up. 103 in Philadelphia and 105 in New York. On the same day, the Northeast would be under siege. 101 in Detroit and low hundreds across the Carolinas. The heat dome is expanding eastward fast. That 108-degree forecast is one model run. A week out, even a 10-degree miss breaks records. The driving force is a massive ridge of high pressure building east. It does not let go easily. Corn crop evapotranspiration in the Midwest pushes dew points into the 70s, which means unbearable humidity. Margaret is a retired nurse in Lake Charles, Louisiana. She says this heat pattern is very dangerous. Margaret heat stroke develops in under 15 minutes at these heat index values. Check on your neighbors. Heat index values across the plains could reach 105 to 115 degrees from Saturday through next week. Plain and simple, this heat wave will impact more Americans than any other weather event next week. Southeast heat has been normal so far, but the models show it intensifying sharply after July 1st. Hydrate before going outside. That single habit could genuinely be the difference during this heat event. The Southeast has been relatively comfortable, but when this ridge shifts east, that changes dramatically. Now let's connect everything. The ring of fire pattern is the engine driving every story in this forecast. A large ridge builds and storms circle its edges day after day. That is the ring of fire. Underneath that ridge, you get scorching heat, sinking air, and brutal humidity with no storm relief. On top of the ridge, storm complexes ride the jet stream, hammering the northern plains and Midwest. 41 million at risk Saturday and 75 miles per hour gusts are both products of the ring of fire pattern. Honest to goodness, the ring of fire makes these next 10 days one of the most active ever. The pattern holds through at least next weekend, possibly not breaking until after July 4th itself. Daily severe weather potential from Saturday through Thursday across the central and northern U.S. is expected. Storms that hit Minnesota Monday can hit Wisconsin Tuesday and circle back Wednesday. That is the cycle. Good grief, the Dakotas to Ohio sit inside this ring of fire every single day through early July. The same pattern producing 75 miles per hour gusts Saturday is building toward 108 degrees in D.C. by next Friday. Your shelter plan, your weather radio, and checking on your neighbors. 3 things to do tonight. Now let's address wildfire risk out west. Red flag warnings are active across the Great Basin. The Great Basin and Southwest face the highest wildfire danger due to critically dry conditions and gusty winds. Higher elevations out west are seeing wind gusts that mean any new fire start can spread extremely fast. The monsoon is building across Arizona and New Mexico, but it has not arrived strongly enough yet. Monsoon thunderstorms bring flash flood risk. Turnaround, don't drown applies across the entire desert Southwest. Sandra is a retired librarian in Alexandria, Virginia. She says the 108-degree DC forecast is shocking. Sandra, if that forecast even partially verifies. The Mid-Atlantic will face very dangerous heat conditions. The heat risk index across the West is at alarm levels. Limit outdoor activity during the afternoon hours. Air quality near any wildfire smoke zone is hazardous. Check conditions before stepping outside today. The same ridge building 108-degree heat into D.C. also drives the extreme fire weather out west. The tropics are quiet for now, but warm waters fueling the heat wave could fire up by July. Let's run through the city forecast, starting with today's severe weather zones in the central U.S. Springfield, Missouri, level 2 tornado corridor today. Highest risk this afternoon into evening hours. Louisville and Evansville tornado potential is elevated today. Know your shelter plan before 3 p.m. Tulsa and Joplin storm clusters tonight, 7 to 9 p.m. Damaging winds and hail are the main threats. Oklahoma City, level 1 marginal risk today, with storms tracking out of western Oklahoma this evening. Denver and the Front Range, severe storms develop off the mountains and push into the plains today. Billings, Montana, brief isolated tornado possible today ahead of Saturday's bigger northern plains setup. Frank in Springfield says the past 2 weeks of storms have been the most relentless he has experienced. Evansville, you are on the edge of today's tornado corridor. Have your shelter ready before storms arrive. Bismarck and Central North Dakota, Saturday, level 2 slight risk. Supercells into a wind line by evening. Fargo and the Eastern Dakotas, Saturday evening. 75 miles per hour gust and severe storms are forecast for you. International Falls and far northern Minnesota, the storm line Saturday carries large hail and damaging winds. The Ring of Fire means Bismarck could see storms Saturday, again Monday, and again Wednesday next week. All 41 million people in Saturday's marginal risk zone should be tracking this forecast closely tonight. That Ring of Fire pattern means the same cities facing storms Saturday will face them again Monday. Virginia Beach and Norfolk, Saturday, level 2, with damaging winds from an organized coastal storm line. Richmond and Newport News, you are inside Saturday's coastal level 2, stay alert afternoon into evening. Charlotte and Raleigh, Saturday, marginal risk with scattered strong storms possible across the Carolinas. Nashville and Kansas City, Saturday, marginal risk. The severe threat is lower but not zero for you. Omaha and Rapid City, you sit on the edge of Saturday's level 2. Watch for any westward shifts. Sandra in Alexandria says 108 degrees in D.C. would be unlike anything her neighborhood has ever experienced. Y'all, in the Gulf Coast, tropical moisture keeps feeding heavy rain into Florida and the northern Gulf. Minneapolis, the heat wave hits you first at 100 degrees Monday. Then severe storms follow all week. Dale in Toledo says he has never seen heat and severe weather attacking from opposite sides at once. Chicago, you were caught between ring of firestorms to the north and a heat dome building south. Margaret in Lake Charles says this heat and humidity pattern is flat out the most dangerous she has seen. San Antonio and the Texas Hill Country, the heat wave reaches you by mid next week. Atlanta and the Deep South, normal summer heat for now. But models show it intensifying after July 1st. Comment your city below. We push updates every single day as this ring of fire develops next week. What part of this forecast concerns you most? Tell us in the comments and we will cover it. Folks, this ring of fire pattern is why we say stay weather aware every single day ahead. Let's bring the whole picture together. The next 10 days are among the most loaded forecasts this year. 41 million people in Saturday's risk zone. That is massive. From Kansas City to Charlotte to Omaha. 75 miles per hour wind gust across the northern plains. Saturday supercells transitioning into a destructive storm line. 108 degrees in D.C. on the Euro model next Friday. Even a partial hit is record-breaking heat. Ring of fire locking in daily severe weather from the Dakotas to the Ohio Valley through next week. In the heat wave zone, check local cooling centers and never leave kids or pets in a car. Heat wave building toward July 4th with heat index values of 105 to 115 degrees across the plains. Make all your weather alerts active phone. NOAA Weather Radio and television for every single day. This is not a normal summer weather week. This is 3 major crises operating on the same map. For today's tornado corridor, Springfield to Louisville, know your shelter plan before this afternoon. For Saturday's Northern Plains, 75 miles per hour, gusts and very large hail are in the cards by evening. For the heat wave, hydrate before going outside. Check on elderly neighbors and limit afternoon time outdoors. Share this forecast with everyone in the storm zone, heat wave zone, or wildfire risk area tonight. Tell us your city. We push daily updates all week as this ring of fire develops through July. No two ways about it. This ring of fire is writing the most active weather chapter of 2026. 41 million at risk Saturday. 75 miles per hour gusts Saturday evening. 108 degrees D.C. Ring of fire locked in. Stay weather aware. This pattern demands your full attention every single day through July 4th. We will be here every morning with the latest. The ring of fire is not going anywhere. 41 million, 75 miles per hour, 108 degrees. Ring of fire locked and loaded through the 4th of July. Ring of fire locked in. 41 million. 75 miles per hour gusts, 108 degrees. The week is barely getting started. The ring of fire is running 41 million, 75 miles per hour, 108 degrees, and it is locked in tonight.